Welcome back to our channel, everybody. In part 1 and 2 we went up the skeleton coast to the Kunene mouth. We also did a bit of dune driving. The sunrise was beautiful when we broke up camp in our last camp in the dunes. We took to the dunes for the last little bit of dune driving. We ended up at the Kunene River once more and we bid our farewell to this beautiful mighty river of Namibia. What a magnificent sight. We will definitely be back soon. Then we headed out to the Hartmann Valley. I was just again immensely impressed with the vastness of this country. Here we also drove past the fairy circles. The jury is still out on the reason for this interesting phenomena. We stopped for lunch at Redrum. This part of Namibia is so vast and there's no landmarks to identify the different areas by. They divided the area in 4 different sectors and literally put a different colored drum in each sector to identify it by. This is, you've guessed it, orange drum. Later the day we arrived at blue drum. Somebody had high hopes for the satellite dish and tiki box here at Blue Drum. The landscape starts changing as we make our way to the next landmark in this area and the better known of the 4 drums, Redrum. Redrum is probably the best known of all the 4 drums that is around here. People coming from Van Zyls Pass would pass often by Redrum. Then we made our way to Redrum Pass or Khumeb Pass. This is quite a challenging bit of driving. We also began to spot some of the stone men of the Kaokoveld. There are 40 odd stone men placed randomly in the Kaokoveld. Try to spot them all. That night we pitched camp at Marble Camp. It is close to Hoariseb. The camp is well maintained, beautiful and clean with the most beautiful views. I can really advise it if you're in that area. We took a nice walk up the hill to see the beautiful sunset and also saw one of the stone men. We spent a couple of relaxing hours in the late afternoon at the campsite. We also used the opportunity to catch up with the family at home with our rented sat phone. The next morning, Lucky prepared us breakfast.
And in this pot also I make some bacon with onion and some nice sauce in it.
We had to fill up cars with diesel before we could leave for the day's drive. We visited the nearby marble mine where we had a close encounter with a snake. A couple of cars had to leave the group and a smaller convoy made their way to the Hoariseb number 1 shop. The kids just loved the soccer ball that was handed out to them and we could all stock up on ice cold cold drinks and beers. Tire pressures were checked and then we headed off into the Kaokoveld where we could see some more of the stone men. We drove on through the Kaokoveld and is heading for Piros camp tonight. Along the way we stopped to admire the endemic Welwitschia plant. We then made our way through the Hoariseb River. We also saw interesting rock formations like this bear. I wasn't entirely sure if we were spotting the giraffes and if the giraffes were spotting us. Then we made our way into the Khumeb riverbed. Then we went into the Hoariseb River, and the sustainable water made it felt like an oasis in the middle of the desert. This is very close to Piros, and it was really unexpected to experience this water in the middle of the desert. At Piros, we stopped at Manchester United Trading Bar and Market. They stock ice-cold cold drinks and beers. It was very welcome. We drove through the town of Piros and we made our way to the Piros community camp. Piros Community Camp is a well-known campsite in this part of the world and is frequently visited by the elusive desert elephants. This was our final night as a group together, and we had a lot of stories to exchange. Jakkals prepared us one last delicious dinner, steak and chips. The next morning we all went our separate ways. We made our way down south to Sesfontein. We passed through the veterinary gate at Palmweg. Then we made the turn right towards Torra Bay. This time we entered the park at the gate at Springbokvasser. Soon the sea was visible and we made full circle. We exited the park at the Ugap gate. What an amazing trip we've experienced. We feel really blessed to be able to have done this. If you've liked this video, please hit like and subscribe to our channel. Hope to see you soon again. Happy camping.